Do you not realize I have had diarrhea since Easter's?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Steven M. on your screen again. Thanks for stopping in. And today we got an episode that's so hair-raising you might poop an egg because it's an Easter spectacular. That's right, everything about Easter. And don't be like, no, I don't care about any of that. I'm telling you, it gets interesting. It gets deep. We're really gonna burrow down the rabbit hole of Easters. We have the origins of Easters, maybe some rebuttals to that idea. It gets goofy, it gets funny, it gets weird, it gets into why Easter's in March. We're all over the map with this. I found it quite interesting. So we're not gonna mess around. How about you do me a favor? Hop on down there and hit that sub button. Hop into your chair and let's roll the footage.
Can we talk about the dark history of Easter? You gotta make sure you check outside. Sorry to say that Easter has nothing to do with Jesus. Many aspects of traditional Christianity, holidays, practices, doctrines, the bunnies, the eggs, springtime, came not from Christ or the Bible but came from pagan religion. Easter Sunday is a Babylonian pagan holiday, which idolizes the fertility goddess Ishtar. Worshipping Ishtar was intended to ask for her blessing of fertility on the crops and everything else. On the first Sunday after the full moon, they would celebrate by baking cakes, getting drunk, and committing other heinous crimes. Women were required to...
First off, how does she know they were getting drunk? And getting drunk is not... And other heinous crimes. How's getting drunk a crime? Sounds like she's being a little judgmental, if you ask me.
To celebrate the conception by laying down at the temple of Ishtar and having relations with anybody who walks in. There is a very dark history on why they color eggs. Babies were sacrificed, and the blood of the infants were dipped in the eggs for Ishtar. Want to know the reason there's a bunny rabbit? Rabbits can bear several litters of young each year, meaning they have high fertility. Decorating eggs seems harmless until you consider the origins of it. None of this had to do with Christianity. The bunnies and the eggs are not as simple as they seem, and this holiday is not holy. Y'all be safe.
Y'all better be safe out there, cause here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity.
Ishtar's on his way.
To sacrifice y'all babies. Again, it seems like they want to demonize every holiday, and, well, no pun intended there, and act like it's not about the thing that we act like it's for, like it's gotta be bad. Every single holiday's gotta be bad. Like these people, and I don't mean her specifically, and I certainly don't mean because she's black, like people in society now want to progress. It's all about progressing, blah, 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 blah. But we can't progress into the way the how we celebrate holidays now. Okay, whatever, if that's what it's about, that's what it's about. Let's say it is. There's probably some truth to it. I don't doubt it. I don't know, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But like, let's move past that, and let's just, hey, this is what we do now. We, kids Easter egg hunt, we eat some candy, and they talk about he has risen, and then whatever, that's what we're doing now. It's like we can't progress into now unless we're talking about, like, I don't know, letting some dude slap on lipstick and a dress and go into a Planet Fitness bathroom and whip his dong out in front of your kid. That's progress. Celebrating Easter for the way we do it now, we can't do that. Because 1,000 years ago, people were doing bad things. But we don't gotta dwell, do we? Some people do, I don't. There's a fella coming up here that says that is incorrect information, and we will listen to him right now.
Easter is just how we pronounce Ishtar in English. If you look at the picture, you could notice.
I'm sick of the lies. And since you won't tell the people the truth, I'm going to tell the people the truth. Since you refuse to tell the people where those lies originated from, I'm going to show it to them. This bold-faced lie that she's telling y'all that Easter came from Ishtar first started with the Two Babylons by Alexander Hislop. Hislop didn't like Roman Catholicism.
Wait a minute. Before we let him babble on any further, let's just address, I know we're not going to get past this if I don't address it now. Yes, his eyebrows look like two caterpillars, okay? That's just the way it is. I don't know this guy, and I don't mean to speak ill of him, but, like, let's just get past that as a group and, like, listen to what he got to say, because he dropped some knowledge that we all need to hear today.
Because he thought it was an ancient continuation of Babylonian paganism. So he starts off with this assumption and then tries to prove it. Don't take my word for it, take his. You can see here that the only reason he thought that Easter came from Ishtar is because the name sounds familiar. And because she's either deceived or dishonest, she won't tell you that this quote here first originated on the Facebook page of a popular atheist named Richard Dawkins. Dawkins likes to bang on Christianity too, but I'm going to prove to you that not one assumption here is actually true. This is what Ishtar actually looks like. And you'll see none of the symbols here have anything to do.
Not to cut him off, but why does Ishtar have chicken feet? I mean, look at the feet on that. What's up with old chicken foot over here? What's going on with that? Ah, the original chicken head, the chicken foot.
To do with a bunny or egg or any of that stuff. Here's a picture from the Ishtar gate, and you'll see her symbols, just like in the last picture, are a lion, a gate, and an 8-pointed star. Symbols of power, not an egg or a bunny. Just because they say something doesn't make it true. Go to the source. They say that Christianity is anti-intellectual, but they want you to believe this conspiracy theory based on no actual sources, and that None. Even atheists believe. Even atheists know better, and that Easter is nothing like Ishtar.
That is stupid.
Then she fed y'all this nonsense about Constantine. And the word Easter didn't even exist in Constantine's time. You ever heard of the word Passover? Well, that is exactly the same word for Easter. It's just transliterated into a different name. In Hebrew, it's Pesach. In Greek, it is Pascha. In English, it is Easter. It is the same word. But for all you people that want to say Easter is not in the Bible, yes, it is. You just don't recognize it because you don't understand how Hebrew, Greek, and transliteration work. It is the same word for Passover. It's a shame that even atheists are able to operate with more intellectual honesty than the people that you all are liking videos from on the internet. Anybody who's ever studied the Council of Nicaea knows it has nothing to do with the invention of Jesus. It was a discussion between Arius, who believed that Jesus was created and had not always been eternal, and the other Christian bishops who had gathered there at Nicaea. Arius was defeated. 318 of the 320 bishops that were there voted to excommunicate him, and his teachings were denounced, and the Creed of Nicaea was written from there. Whoa. Here are 12 non-Christian sources that I will email to anybody that demonstrate that Jesus Christ absolutely existed as a historical person. A black North African named Tertullian, who also gave us the word Trinity, demonstrates here why December 25th was chosen as the date of Jesus' birth. But remember, we're not celebrating the date of his birth, we're celebrating the event of his birth. More proof from another North African scholar named Augustine. Does this sound like somebody who wants to celebrate paganism? And the scripture reference wasn't talking about a tree, it was talking about an idol. So please stop with the cap.
Whew. Please stop with the cap. I mean, can you argue with that guy? His caterpillar eyebrows aside, he dropped some knowledge just now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. Now, the flip side of that is any of that stuff correct? Or is the pagan girl correct? I don't know. I don't know. If I had to guess, like most things, it probably falls somewhere in the middle. The reality of it. There's probably a little bit of truth to both. You know how these things are. You tell one person and it gets, lost in translation. And between two people, you're going to lose half of it. So we're talking thousands of years. It's tough to say. But the whole pagan thing probably is a little far-fetched. Probably a little bit of truth to it. I don't know. I don't even know what Nicaea is. So I don't really know what this guy's even talking about. But he did. And he said it with confidence. And that's what it takes to be a good salesman, folks. I don't know. Let's have a conversation in the comments section. Was it the girl or the guy that's telling the truth? How about that? Let me know. And real quick, a tip on how you can help save the earth and be a better environmentalist. Take it away, Bill.
Plant trees. There's a lot of people who are very enamored with trees. We've got trees on this stage. Some people would even say that if you just planted enough trees, it could take care of the climate issue altogether.
And that's complete nonsense.
Okay.
I mean, are we the science people or are we the idiots? Which one do we want to be? Don't plant trees.
And there you have it. From the science people themselves, do not plant trees. Trees are bad for the environment. So, who are you going to trust? Mother Nature or Bill Gates? I think you know the answer. Trust the science.
You guys talked about Santa and Christmas relating to mushrooms. Yeah. So there's another theory, not even a theory. I believe this is actually what happened. I'm convinced. So with Easter, when mushrooms grow, they start in this bulb shape, which is called an egg.
Yeah.
All right. And they grow in certain seasons very well. So around Easter time, these bulbs would be popping out of the ground.
Yeah.
And of course, their term is egg. So people would go on egg hunts during these times. And they'd bring them home. And
that's where Easter egg hunting
from. I believe so, because there are actually stories of it, like hunting for mushrooms. You're looking for eggs. That's what they called them.
Bro, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because remember, I think in the RJ episode, I was talking about like, where did Easter come from? Where did these eggs come from?
Well, they say that the Easter Bunny was just thrown in for commercial purposes. They needed something for marketing, right?
But the egg part.
The egg part, yeah. Because when mushrooms grow, they start.
Yeah, that's like.
It's the actual term.
There you have it. Maybe Ishtar was not involved in Easter at all, or was the Lord? It was just a bunch of people hunting some shrooms, trying to have a good time, and they probably ate some shrooms after their egg hunt, and then started hallucinating and saw a huge rabbit or some shit. You know, I swear that was in a movie actually, where someone was like tripping, there was like a huge rabbit, and there was like, what? You know, I like that idea better than all. I like it better than the sacrificing kids thing. Well, it can be religious actually. So the guy, the dude, I'll go with. I like that better than the chick earlier. Not this guy. I'm with this guy. This is my first favorite. The dude that says it's a Jesus thing is my second favorite, and it being a pagan, demonic, child sacrificing, humping like rabbits to kill your babies holiday, I'm gonna take that as my least favorite out of the three. You know, if I had to pick, that'd be my least favorite. And eating shrooms and having a good time and being like, I think that is a humongous rabbit. That sounds better to me. You remember he did say that about the Christmas one too. I put that in the Christmas video that if you've never seen, you can go back and watch right now, and we'll really get up to speed on everything about how all the holidays are really just about eating shrooms.
If this isn't proof that God doesn't exist, then I don't know what is. Watch Lady Gaga receive instant karma after mocking Jesus in one of her concerts.
Okay. A little bonk on the head. What's she doing with that gun?
Now, I know a lot of you are automatically gonna say that this was just a coincidence, but this is not the first time that a celebrity or influencer receives instant karma after mocking God.
Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
I remember that happening. And she laid there. Clearly he did not love her the most. I don't know how they're equating it to being like making fun of Jesus, but nonetheless, she had like a heart attack or something, and she laid there for a while because people thought it was part of the act, and it was not. I think she lived. So like if she didn't, you know, that's terrible, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty wild. Did Jesus loves me the most? Like, oh, something happened. She passed out. I forget but yeah, I don't know. Look it up. Comic that passes out after Jesus thing. I don't remember the whole thing. I don't even know her name. Don't make fun of Jesus, or you might get knocked out or fall over on stage. That's the lesson we're gonna learn here. Lady Gaga is probably a demon. You ever see a picture of her? I mean, she's done a lot of shit. You know, she's in the club. Oh, she's big time in the club. I'm sure she's been at some Diddy parties. That's for damn sure. She said some stuff. And then did you ever see the one cake? There's that cake of like a human, but it's like all bloody and gross, and all the celebrities are standing around it. They say it's a cake. Anyways, it looks like a real person in like a tub of blood. They say it's just a cake. Why would you even want that as your cake, for one? Even if it is a cake. And like the whole thing, they're all into it. The adrenochrome and the eating babies and the blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Hopefully some stuff starts really coming out with this whole P. Diddy thing. P. the Diddler. I mean, they said he had cameras in every room in his house filming celebs. I don't know. We'll see. If I was him, I'd be trying to strike a deal. Like, listen, either they're going to let me go and say it was all a misunderstanding, or I'm going to blow the whole thing out the water. Also, if I was him, I would just scream racism. You're only doing this What about all the white senators, white congressmen, actors, they're trying to take down the black guy. You're all pedos too. You're gonna take down the black guy. That's what I would do if I was him. Absolutely. I'd be playing that card around every turn if I could. That's for damn sure. So that's just me though. You know.
So you telling me that 34 years I've been on this earth, and every time it's finna be Easter, right? My son celebrated his birthday in April.
Okay, he has a son.
He's about to be 10. April has a Fool's Day in it. Every year, these things have been happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm there with it. This year, Easter is in March? It's in March, bruh? What are they doing, bruh? Next they finna tell us it's 388 days in the year and we just haven't been using them all. Man, what is going on?
Does anybody want to tell them about the 13-month calendar and all the other things? I don't know about 388 days specifically, but, you know, I don't know how they set Ash Wednesday whenever they set it, but I'm sure it has something to do with something that's beyond my knowledge. It is weird. I'll give them that. It's definitely weird to have Easter in March. I think this has happened a couple... Oh, man. We need to look. I'll do it. I'll post it up here. Or if Easter was in March in 2020, because the whole everything that, you know what I'm saying already probably, 2020 and 2024 are lining up perfect. It did just happen not that long ago, for sure. Oh, man. I don't know why it happened. I remember thinking it was weird then. I didn't think too much of it. For some reason, it's a little bit early. I mean, I'm with the guy on asking questions, but he really like spun it like they really got us on this one. Like, what? How do they get? Did they get us? Hey, maybe he's asking the right questions. Actually, I did hear some lady. Okay, some lady on TikTok, and it was a long video, and I wanted to put it in here, but I try to keep videos kind of short because of the attention spans, and no, it was like 4 or 5 minutes. But this lady was like you know, she's all into astrology, as they are, and she was talking about the whatever, you know how this, I don't know stuff about astrology. If you're a girl and you're listening to this, you probably do. That was probably a little sexist in this day and age. Don't me to me over that one. All right. So like, you know, we're not in a certain moon or in a certain sun or whatever, so there shouldn't be an eclipse or something like that. I don't know. She knew what she was talking about, like a certain sun, or we're not in a certain equinox or whatever stuff they'd be saying. So like, but they're saying that we are. Oh, like there's something like that. Like oh, like this eclipse is supposed to be special because it's going to be this and that. It'll lined up, and she's saying we're not in that. So what's this all about? Blah blah blah. And then when I'm listening to her saying that, like, oh, that means the grid's going down. No wonder the National Guard's coming out because they're gonna kill us all when the grid's down because they don't want us all to be unalived anyways, is probably what. Not to be so grim, but I don't know. If anybody wants to see that video, let me know in the comments what this lady said, because I really chopped that up, and I'll put it in like the next video or something like that. It is interesting to me, you know. I don't know. It was interesting to me, but sadly she didn't make the cut just because the allotted amount of time seemed a little too much, and here I am running my mouth for longer than that video would have been anyways. So let's think about it like that.
If you haven't swallowed a piece of gum in the last 7 years, it is urgent that you do it by tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first Sunday following the first full moon following the spring equinox, and it marks an anniversary in the simulation of when it was turned on. It is the most common day for people to be replaced. As I've covered before, when you swallow gum, it stays in your body for 7 years. Every cell in your body is replaced every 7 years. They come and they replace you every 7 years from the people who run the simulation, and they can make any changes they want to you. So you swallow the gum and it locks you in place and they can't replace you. And tomorrow is the most common day it'll happen. How do we know it's such an important day? Think about it. We have Easter chocolate. We have Easter marshmallows shaped like chickens. We have Easter eggs. We have every form of Easter confection there is. But have you ever heard of Easter gum? Have you ever heard of Easter gum? No, they won't allow Easter gum inside the simulation.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That was the most absurd thing you ever heard. Unless you maybe know who this guy is, because he said as he's covered before. And that's the thing that intrigued me a little bit. I honestly do not know if he's joking. I don't know if he's joking. And I left this up. Look in the background here. It is all of his fake heads. So is he into some like I'm making dummies or something. For something about the simulation. Like I'm making fake worlds. Like I don't know what this guy's into. And we've heard dumber things. I've heard dumber things. That is for damn sure. There's probably been dumber things out of my mouth. Maybe even in this video. Hell, Bill Gates, just a minute ago, the smartest guy ever to exist, just said don't plant trees because they're bad for the earth. Trees. So does this guy believe that there's a conspiracy not to sell gum on Easter because it's when they snatch souls out of the matrix, the simulation, and gum will keep you stuck to the, or keeps your soul, your cells intact, is what he's saying. I don't know if he's joking. That's the thing. Do I think he's right? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not. I'm gonna say probably not, but I'm also gonna say I just don't know if he's for real. But I know what we can do as a group. Let's all swallow some gum on Easter. One piece. Let's not go crazy here. Come on. Swallow some gum on Easter because better safe than sorry. Okay? All right. Let me know if you think this guy was telling the truth. I didn't. He's either being really funny and seeing if he can get something to go around, like the person that started online that Cracker Barrel's racist and should change their name, which it did catch traction a little bit. Oh no, even better, the person that made up online that the OK sign is white power. And that caught fire. That was everywhere. Like everyone, not everyone, but people lost their job. You ever see that guy, Mexican guy, was just holding his hand outside of his work truck and like moving his fingers around. I'm sure it was some pink hair white liberal, filmed it, called his work, called him a white supremacist. He lost his job over just moving his fingers outside of his work truck. That's a fact. If you don't know about that, look it up. It absolutely happened. Because, we live in a reasonable world. And that goes back to my point of, is this guy telling the truth about eating the gum? Right there. Yeah, I just thought of something even a million times crazier than a person thinking eating gum will save you from getting snatched out of the simulation. So there you go. There you go. I'm going to eat some gum because, like I said, better safe than sorry. I hope you do the same, and I catch you on the other side of Easter's.
Many people are just dead wrong about where the origins of Easter come from, and I'm sorry, Michael, I love you, but you are also dead wrong. And just like you've asked, I've left all my sources and citations of history at the end of the video so you can check them out. But first, let me explain. Now, if you're a Christian, the information I'm about to tell you will shock you. However, trust me, the historians that I cite in this video are experts in their field. We can't talk about the origins of Easter without talking about the Hair Club for Men. The Hair Club for Men, or the Keepers or Guardians of the Secret, are an ancient Israeli Christian sect dedicated to keeping the true message of Easter alive. One of the most famous members of the Hair Club for Men was Leonardo da Vinci, and he left clues about the true history in his most famous artwork. This is an image of the Last Supper. What do you see on the table? Let's zoom into right in front of Saint Peter. Looks a bit strange, doesn't it? Almost looks like an egg. Now, what would a plain egg be doing at the Last Supper? Well, we need to turn to the Bible. In Matthew 16 verse 18, Jesus said, "And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and for the gates of Hades will not overcome it." How was Peter special than all the other disciples, the other men that were sitting at the table? Well, if he was a man, he wouldn't be different. But he wasn't a man. Saint Peter was a rabbit.
Peter Cottontail. Boom.
What's even more damning is the word rock here in Greek is asteo, which is also the Greek word for rabbit. And this is why every biblical scholar actually translates it this way in their manuscripts. See, it makes sense. God cannot trust one man to rule the church. so he chose the most innocent, beautiful creature to be the head of his organization. And you can see proof of this everywhere. If you use theodolite laser technology to peer underneath the paint, you can see how the original painting of the Last Supper was painted. And you can even see this in the Pope's hat. It makes no sense for a human to wear that size of hat, unless you've got ears to hide. The Hair Club for Men has been decorating eggs and keeping the true history of the bunny alive. This is the true history of Christianity, and if you have a problem with that, take it up with the historians referenced here.
So there you have it. That's probably the real explanation. That and shrooms. It's all about the Hair Club for Men. As a matter of fact, Jesus liked the Hair Club for Men so much, he bought the company. So there's that. So people might not get that joke because the Hair Club for Men is kind of an older thing, but it was a thing to regrow your hair. I think it was like the 90s. It was a big infomercial thing. Join the Hair Club for Men, blah, blah. I liked it so much I bought the company. That was the Hair Club for Men, I'm pretty sure, actually. But, you know, clearly he's joking. And I tell you what, if he didn't do the Pope thing with the ears, some people might have believed it. Some people might have believed it. But I thought that was hilarious. And a good way to end this video, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and how about you do me a favor and hop on down to that sub button down there, or go ahead and hop on over to that like button, and I'll see you after Easter. I hope you have a great Easter. Unless you don't celebrate Easter, then just have yourself a good weekend, have a good week, have a good life. And if you didn't like the video, just keep it moving, bro, because I don't want no beef with you. That's all, folks.